And so when we got older, it kind of just made sense for us to be a group, because every time we were backstage at these gigs, we were singing together, we were harmonizing, we built a friendship. It felt right. It felt right. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you all getting up early and doing this. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's okay.
Our pleasure.
Awesome. Well, I'm Adam, and this is about you three and your journey in music. And we'll talk about the songs you guys just released and everything else happening after that.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Can't wait to get into it.
Amazing. So everybody introduce yourselves just so I can get a grasp. I know everyone's name. I just want to make sure that we're all I can go in order as far as my screen goes.
So I'm Tiara.
I'm Bernie. And I'm Gabby.
And
All
we're
awesome. All right, Tiara. So first, we'll start with you then. Where were you born and raised? Sydney?
Yeah, born and raised Sydney. We're all Western Sydney, but I'm out Southwest Sydney. So born and raised.
Born and raised. And Bernie, what about you? Same? Sydney?
Western Sydney. So she's Southwest Sydney. I'm Western Sydney, and she's inner west.
In a northwest.
Something like that.
Something like that.
We really have to be specific with it.
It's kind of, it's west.
Something like that.
Something west.
Somewhere there.
But we're all Sydney, yeah.
Okay. Where are you guys at now?
We're all in Sydney at the moment.
What part? West Sydney? I mean,
The heart of Sydney, like the Sydney, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Right on. And did you all meet at a young age, or did you guys grow up separately and then came together later in life?
Yeah, so because we're all Filipino, growing up as kids, our parents would always push us to do all the music performances and stuff like that. And we met through mutual gigs within the Filipino community. Because we were always performing at the same gigs, we became friends, even though we were all from different parts of Sydney. And so when we got older, it kind of just made sense for us to be a group, because every time we were backstage at these gigs, we were singing together, we were harmonizing, we built a friendship. It felt right. It felt right. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. My wife's Filipino, so that's awesome that the three of you.
Do you know any Filipino words?
No, I don't. Her mom moved to the United States when she was 12.
Okay.
Yes, but she can speak Tagalog and all that stuff. I don't know how to do that. But I know I like to eat the food. I can tell you that.
That's me. That's me. I can eat.
And they like to push food. I'd be like so stuffed, and her mom will be like, "No, go get more." I'm like, I'm gonna barf.
My mother has a catering business in Filipino food, so she literally will always tell people, "You want more? Eat more. It's okay."
Yeah, exactly.
When you have too little on your plate, they'll be like,
Put more.
put more. Why so little? Put more.
Oh, that's so good. What kind of food does she? Beef steak is my jam. I like that one.
Steak. Yeah, no, my mom beef steak. No, my mom makes everything. Adobo,
Oh,
sinigang,
adobo's good.
pancit.
My
like
favorite
everything.
dish from my mom, it's her spaghetti and her tortang talong.
Which is like
That's
fried
fried
eggplant.
eggplant.
Egg, yeah. Oh, okay. There's torta also, which is like an egg thing, right? Where it's like an egg inside of a.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got to cut out. So what'd you say? Is that right? Isn't that torta?
And talong is eggplant. So it's like eggplant.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Egg. But it's so good.
It's delicious.
Oh my gosh.
That is amazing. Well, let's talk about music then. So Tiara, how did you get into music? It sounds like you were kind of pushed into, or not pushed into it, but that was something that your parents wanted you to be a part of.
We all have different musical upbringings. For me, where I was kind of raised, I didn't really have access to a lot of resources to build my music knowledge. Like I never had access to singing lessons. I never did any piano lessons. I kind of had to go based off all the people that inspired me in music, like all the divas, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. When I would hear their music, I would try to sing like them. And when it came to like getting a piano, I kind of just had to rely on YouTube piano tutorials or something like that. So my upbringing, I'd say, is predominantly self-taught until part of Horizon, like training together. I learned most of my stuff from them now because they have different upbringings as well. Like you guys go.
We're all
Yeah.
learning from each other. Like
Yeah.
with Gabby, because she's very much like
She's
brought up in
classically
music.
trained.
Yeah, she's
we're
classically
gonna.
trained.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll get Gabby. We'll go with you next, Gabby. So you come from a musical household, or it sounds like you're classically trained.
So yeah, as I was saying, I was classically trained in high school, but I started singing lessons when I was 7 because when I was younger, I didn't speak, I didn't talk.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like even my preschool teachers would tell my parents, she's got a problem. Like, I don't know how she's gonna like make friends or like,
And now she
grow
won't
up.
shut up. Now we can't.
The roles have reversed. Now my mom keeps telling me to shut up. But yeah, through that I was put into a lot more music. I did piano lessons as well, singing lessons, and then I studied classical music in high school. That's where I learned a lot about music theory and about like harmony, which I, you know.
Which brings us to Bernie.
So like in high school, I was very much an a cappella nerd. I was in multiple vocal ensembles.
Self-devised. She likes to mention that they were self-devised.
We were called the New Tones a cappella group. But on top of that, I was also in other vocal ensembles. Anyway, so I was really into harmony, still am. I love bringing that into the group. Like Gabby, we love to do vocal arrangements. And I also tried to venture out into something different in music in university. I did music production, and now I'm so in love with doing like a lot of our vocal production. So I feel like we bring so many different
So
things.
basically what they're
skills.
saying is without them I'd be screwed.
like reaching at this point.
She's fishing for it. Okay, do you really want us to say that you're the vocal powerhouse of the group? Because you are. Okay.
No. We're all equally amazing.
Well, you said earlier that you met kind of at different singing competitions as kids. So all of you were put in those type of things.
So basically, the Filipino community here is really strong and really tight. And so one thing that a lot of like the Filipino community would do is when Filipino artists would do their tours in Australia, whoever was promoting the tour would gather local Filipino artists, like aspiring artists and like local talent to be the front acts. They'd have like sometimes 5, sometimes 10 different local artists, performers, support acts before the big headline artists. And so we were those little front acts.
Really?
We were like,
That's cool.
we met when we were like between 10 and 12 years old, I think. Like we can't pinpoint exactly how
Yeah,
old we
we were
were,
just
but
so young.
around that age, we were just 3 little girls pushed into the little stage.
Being like, go.
Sing the Michael Jackson.
sing.
Like,
Let's sing Ben by Michael Jackson. Huh?
yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you met each other young, and then at what age do you all come together again and are like, hey, let's try to do a project or something together?
Well, Horizon's been around for around 6
Yeah,
years.
around that. We
6 years now?
started late 2017.
Yeah, 2017. I think because we just all have a mutual love for music and it's our passion. So we had a mutual appreciation for all of our different like musical backgrounds and our upbringings. We were like, we should make this like a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's why it works so well because of our musical upbringings. It's like each person brings something different to the table.
Mhm.
So we all have our time to shine equally and still be such a strong unit. So that's why we're constantly inspiring each other, and we're kind of just like, oh my God, like you're going to kill this bit, you're going to kill that bit, I'm going to kill this bit. And it's just, we
constant
make sure,
support.
Yeah. Well, when did
Always
you
supporting each
decide that
other.
this is going to be a thing?
even
Like,
though I hate them. Oh my God.
and they
Even though
annoy
we're
me.
stuck with each other.
were you like at one of these events and, you know, kind of just playing off each other and we're like, well, you know, let's just do this together. Like, how did the idea for Horizon end up beginning? Are you there? Can you hear me?
Well,
Oh.
I vividly remember. Oh yeah, sorry, the internet cut out. Can you?
Yeah, I can. There was a delay. I think
it
I was
cutting out?
talking and you guys were listening to me talk, and then I thought it was frozen, and then it wasn't.
Oh,
okay.
sorry. Yeah, it said the internet connection was stable. As I was saying, I vividly remember the first time we sang together. We sang White Winter
Yeah.
Hymnal by Pentatonic
At Bernie's house.
at Bernie's house. See, we were doing all the clapping movements and everything.
Acapella nerd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were just like, guys, let's just jam together in a rehearsal at one point.
But no one was performing that song, like at all. It was no one was performing it. It was we were at Bernie's house.
Yeah, it was just a rehearsal.
Just
it was
rehearsing
just
for a
literally
random gig.
rehearsal, and we were like, guys, let's just sing together. Let's just do this song because we all knew it.
I literally have a recording of it. I just cannot find
Yeah.
it. It's somewhere deep in the archives in
her
a
fault.
laptop
Her
or
fault.
something, but I have the video of when we were singing it. It was the first time we ever sang, and I just, one day I'm gonna have it.
You
One
need
day
to
I will.
find it. That's cool.
I really
That
do.
is the pivotal moment. We need that
I
in our
know.
documentary.
I know. Bangs and braces.
I was a completely different woman.
Thick bangs, not like soft ones, but thick, blocky ones. Yeah.
What, you saying I didn't eat them? You saying I didn't slay those
Not
bangs?
just saying, she did say, you did slay.
Yeah, I did. And I don't know. Still.
So you at that moment you were singing together, and then you decide to start Horizon. And as far as the songs go and everything, was that an idea like, oh, we should write our own music, or like how did that piece kind of come together?
So we, with forming the girl group, we
Yeah.
wanted to write music. So, but we needed, help with that. We needed some sort of mentorship. So we all seeked out someone to help produce our music and write with us and mentor us, being a girl group. And, we found the right person. And just from that one person who believed in us, we managed to make this whole amazing support group for us, an amazing team behind us. And now, because of them and because of our hard work, we're signed in America. It's something we never could have imagined. We are just 3 Filipino Australian women from Western Sydney, and you never see that making out of Sydney, making it worldwide. So it's really, Horizon is just so special to us, and we hope we keep doing this and we keep inspiring
Other women, other people that, if we can do it, and you put your mind to it and you work hard for it, then anything is possible.
Yeah.
what they
That's
say.
amazing. I'm going to ask you all that similar question at the very, very end of this, but so can I say who it was? Because I believe I know. Was it Tricky Stewart who helped you guys out? Okay,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
how do you find him? And if those people who don't know who that is, his discography is insane. Like Umbrella from Rihanna and Britney Spears and Justin Bieber and just.
He made our
Oh, Single Ladies! I forgot he did that one too, right?
I remember
Umbrella, Case of the X,
Break My Soul.
Break My Soul,
Water.
Water. Man.
So
So
many.
how do you all connect with him?
So it's kind of like a bit of a zigzag. So we had our management team in connection with our attorney. Our attorney found us through our social media, through all our content. We have been really lucky to build up our social media presence, and with all our covers and stuff, we were getting a lot of attention from not just producers, but artists themselves. Sometimes we'll have global artists DM us requesting for us to cover their music. So
Wow.
we always just putting ourselves out there consistently. And when we got lucky enough to get in contact with our attorney and everything, he was like, I have a buddy. I really think you guys should work with him. And we were like, oh yeah, everything. And when Tricky then stumbled across us as well, we were kind of like, there's no way that Tricky Stewart is willing to work with us. We were like, no, that's fake. You're lying. You're
But
fake.
I remember Tricky actually followed us at the end of
2022.
He was
Yeah.
following us when our followers they weren't as high as they were.
It was like
They weren't
20K.
weren't in the millions.
So mainly on our Instagram. We were around 20K, less than 100K. And then we kept posting consistent. We've always been consistent on our social media. We really take it seriously and work so hard with it. And through that, our following just skyrocketed to what it is now.
Our cover of My All by Mariah Carey, I think was like kind of the turning point for our Instagram. We got a lot of engagement on that. Our followers went from 20K to 500,000 within a span of like a few weeks.
Yeah, and I remember Tricky saying
just from that one song, really doing well.
that as we kept posting consistently, people kept seeing our covers, and people were looking into our past covers, being like, "Oh my gosh,
They realized like, oh my gosh, this is actually a
you guys have been
group.
doing this for real." And Tricky said to us, "That was
the turning point.
That was
for
it for
him.
me, because you guys stayed consistent, and I could see your growth and how you guys continued to work hard, even though you won't see traction at the beginning, but you have to keep working hard at it."
And so he flew us out to Atlanta for 2.5
He's like,
weeks.
I want to see if you guys are the real deal. Like,
Yeah.
can they really do what they do online?
Flew us
in
out to
person?
Atlanta for 2.5 weeks doing a recording trip. We were doing minimum 20 hours a day in the studio, cutting 2 songs a day.
20 hours.
Like 4 hours sleep. Don't lie.
4 hours? That's wild.
We were running on like 4 hours sleep a day.
We'd be lucky to get like 5 or 4.5 hours.
Yeah, so 20 hours. That's what I mean. 20 hours a day. And by the end of it, he was like, this is something special. Like, we got to do it.
Oh my gosh, that's so this. I mean, obviously, you had a bunch of content prior to this Mariah Carey song, "Doing Something," which is super helpful, and you continued doing that. I mean, there's probably a lot of people that have had like a sliver of a viral video, and then it just flops after that, right? I mean, to be able to continue on and continue to gain more and more followers and keep attention of all these big people, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, for sure.
You said, sorry, go ahead.
No, I've been saying, as when we started Horizon, when we started social media, even on our TikTok and our Instagram, YouTube and Facebook, we were getting nothing. We were getting nothing, but that didn't stop us.
Yeah.
We kept going at it, engaging with our fans, engaging with our team, trying to figure out strategies.
Trying to figure out new
social media is a
ideas,
complete different
But it wasn't
ballgame.
just the social media that we were trying to develop. We were trying to develop ourselves as artists. So all the things that come with being a girl group, dance training, heels training, getting our physical training, everything that we needed to do to be more than just content creators, which we wanted to show people that we are a girl group and we're ready to be global artists. So while being consistent on social media, we were still doing all those full-time hours. We dropped out of university, we quit our jobs, like we made a time thing because we knew that eventually the hard work will pay off. So that's why.
And it did. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you said earlier, now I'm just curious, you said bigger artists or worldwide artists would hit you guys up to cover their songs. What was one, or I don't know if you even want to tell me, is there someone that you're like, oh wow, I can't believe this person reached out to me and they want me to do their song?
Mine's Boys to Men.
I was thinking,
No way.
I think because I grew up listening to Boys to Men a lot in my household, I looked up to them so much that when we started to see them engage with our content and eventually be able to meet them as well, I was kind of just geeking out a little bit. I like to say I'll never get starstruck, but when we met them in person, I was like, there's no way that they're standing right in front of me right now.
But even to get the DM from them, like, hey, we like what you're doing. Like, what?
We were on FaceTime with Sean when we were in Atlanta because we had our friend Q Parker from 112, who we went on tour with back in 2022, I think it was. he came and visited us in the studio in Atlanta, and he's like, oh yeah, like I have a friend that wants to say hi to you, and he puts the phone out and it's Sean from Boys to Men, and I'm like, yeah, no, thank you so much. And so
Oh
My-
wow.
you guys have a good one.
Well, I have to. Well, we didn't ask, but we did sing with him. We sang with JoJo,
Yeah,
Oh,
JoJo.
Oh, that's cool.
like in person.
She's so sweet.
At the end of it, I cried.
Yeah,
Because I
I
had to stay professional throughout the whole recording, and like I was just trying to keep myself, you know, like intact, just,
Professional.
you know. And then once they're like, "Okay, we got everything we need," I was like, "JoJo," she's like, "Yeah, I just want to say that I look up to you, and you made my
We-
childhood." Yeah, and then she was like, "Oh," she was like hugging me, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
have
we
a
have it
video
on
of
video.
Benny literally making that exact face.
"It was that
It was
face."
that face.
Yeah.
And you got to do a song with her? You got to record on a record? Is that what you
All of
said?
them. We
Oh
got
my gosh.
to capella song that we had released last year.
You don't know nothing.
Our first release being signed to Epic. She sang it with us. Oh my gosh.
She killed it. She
Oh my
killed
gosh.
it.
We also sang
Her song,
song.
Dissolve,
Dissolve.
Too Little Too Late,
Too Little Too
Silent
Late.
Night. We did a bunch of different social media content recordings.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's amazing. And you have a song, you just released a couple songs, right? Recently.
Yeah.
So when did Naughty's the one of them that and you did Want to Love You. Those are the most recent. What were those, like, when did you guys write those songs? When were those recorded? And I think you have like a project coming out, right? As well, maybe later this year.
So Wanna Love You, Naughty, they were two of the many songs that we recorded back in Atlanta. Naughty was actually the first song that we recorded when we went in Atlanta. We did about 14 during that 2-week trip, and Naughty was
Wow.
one of them, and kind of like the icebreaker for us. It was the first song we did. We were all really excited. I think we killed it.
Yeah.
And we
It's a great
always
song.
be like the club banger song. Like,
Yeah.
this is the one, you get your girls, you're having a good time, leave your man at home, let's just have fun, feel confident and
Yeah.
sexy and feeling naughty, hence the title anyway. And with Wanna Love You, funny story with
Yeah.
Wanna Love You, we actually, I think that was one of our longest days in studio.
Yeah.
we were so tired.
We were so tired.
We
We
wanted-
wanted, yeah, we wanted to beef it up with
Mhm.
a lot of our own vocal arrangements and harmonies and
Mm.
layers, because a lot of these songs were already written, but Tricky, knowing us, how we love doing our own vocal arrangements and harmonies, he's like, no, it's written, but I want to see what y'all can do. And we're like, oh, for sure. So we did
Yeah.
our thing on every
Mhm.
track. We made sure that every track had the horizon, spin on it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but Wanna Love You, oh my gosh, I remember I was so tired that day, and Tricky was like, let's do this one. I'm like,
Yeah.
Struggling to keep our eyes
yeah.
open.
I was feeling so delulu.
And look, if I'm gonna be
I
honest,
was really delulu.
if we're gonna be honest as well, when we left studio that day, we were proud of every single song, don't get me wrong. But I remember leaving studio that day, we were like, did we
I don't know if that went
really do our best with that song? We were like, I don't know about this song, like maybe we did too much, maybe we did too little. We were just having cold feet about it. When we came in studio the next day with fresh ears and a clear mind after having some good sleep,
Some 3 hours.
some good 3 hours sleep, we heard it and we were like, oh, this is
Yeah.
actually one of our favorites. And we were like, this is the R&B
Yeah.
sexy song that we knew that we wanted to show
Mhm.
people, because we're still starting out. This
Mhm.
upcoming project, this EP, this is a very new thing for us. This is an introduction to who we are as artists. We want to make sure that this upcoming EP, each song is kind of showing you a different vibe vocally as well as personality, I feel.
Yeah.
It's showing everybody the different sides of us and what we can do with our music, and kind of getting to know us through our music. Like, we want to show people that we can have a naughty side, we can have a beautiful love song, we can have going crazy, we can
We
have
can have a cappella.
a cappella. We want to show people that we are the real deal with this next project. So definitely
Yeah.
those two songs is kind of like a good little
Segue.
segue to it.
Okay. And with that Atlanta trip, both those songs came out of it. Did you get the whole EP done while you were in Atlanta at that time, or do you have more music that you recorded outside of that trip?
We're actually about to do a whole nother week in studio doing more music,
Yeah,
everything.
more recording songs.
Yeah, recording more songs. So we just want to make sure that this EP is right because, as I said, we want it to be a good introduction to who we are. So we have most of the EP done. We have most of it, and we're really excited about it.
This archive of music, like since we started the girl group, like we actually started writing our own stuff like years ago, and we're just keeping it in the archive, letting it marinate, and we want to keep building it until we get, you know, the perfect EP that would just encapsulate our horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. And what about live shows? Are you doing? I was on your website. I didn't see anything posted, but are you performing quite a bit right now, or just focusing on the EP?
Bit of both. We just came back from Philippines and Hong Kong actually, just before
Wow.
Yeah, we did some performances in Hong Kong and Philippines. We did like a festival in Philippines. We did a major gig in Hong Kong, and we definitely plan on being on the road again soon. I think right now we're just getting back
our
into the
music,
swing of things.
getting
Yeah.
our music.
Wow. What was it like going performing in the Philippines? Was it the first time you've done that, or have you played there before?
So we actually spent a whole month in Philippines last year in March.
Yeah.
We did a whole promo tour, doing over how many?
I think it was, we had every day packed, let's just say. We had
yeah.
Oh wow.
Every
Okay.
interviews, radio shows, TV shows, gigs. But it was amazing, like being able to come to the Philippines, like that's where our culture is at. We were able to connect. It's also with our fans and all the artists that are there. We got to collab with Bringin, which is another girl group in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's something that the Philippines themselves haven't really seen. Like groups, artists from their own country collabing with other Filipino Australians around the world.
And we taught them how to harmonize.
Yeah. And they taught us how to dance.
Taught us how to dance. Like it was all really, really cute.
It was a really cute
really great
exchange.
experience.
Yeah.
We love going to the Philippines.
But when we went back recently, we actually went with JBL, who we're ambassadors for here in Australia. And JBL do like an annual, like a festival called Soundfest. So we were lucky enough to.
This speaker company? They're like they do speakers, right? Okay.
So we were lucky enough to be one of the performers for like representing Australia at the Filipino JBL Soundfest. So it was
Wow.
yeah.
Along with who? Sorry, it cut out on my end.
DJ Tiger Lily is another Australian JBL ambassador. She's a DJ. She's amazing. Stunning.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, I appreciate you all getting up early and doing this. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
I have one more question. You all kind of answered it earlier, but I'm still going to ask it again. If you have any advice for aspiring artists, I want to get an answer from each one of you.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Keep going. What is it? What's the saying?
Keep your hands
Keep on the wheel and your eyes on the horizon. That is our saying.
That's our saying. Hands on the wheel and eyes on the horizon.